Hello, and welcome to the Superhero Ruler, where we break the fourth wall and explore the spiritual, biological, and technological attributes of characters throughout omni existence. I am your host, Mr. P, and this is the Superhero Ruler. Have you ever wondered? In general, have you ever simply just wondered? Have you ever allowed your mind to get lost in the pureness of thought? Have you ever tried to know the unknowable, or to understand the incomprehensible? These things are principal blocks of philosophy, a journey where most approach the gates but choose not to run. Everything seems unknowable without the knowledge and experience against which to contrast our reasoning and understanding. The Superhero Ruler is a thought experiment laboratory. It is where the subjective becomes objective, where the semantics give rise to universal comprehension. It seeks answers to questions our minds beg to question, by giving value to that which we imagine. This is infinite indefiniteness. It is absolute nothingness, the manifestation of incomprehensible. See, we are already defining that which is beyond definition, and we're just getting started. Ex nihilo, meaning out of nothing, or out of the incomprehensible, means more than just hidden and out of plain sight. It implies that there are things which can and do exist beyond our perception, and thus beyond our comprehension. Think of something that is unthinkable. Imagine something unimaginable. And of themselves, these values are absolutely impossible. However, in a perceived reality comprised of infinite possibility, one must argue that no thing is impossible, that existence must be the aggregate of absolute possibility, and in essence gives rise to all aspects of impossibilities as well. It is within this notion that the Superhero Ruler has manifested. Before you stands infinite indefinite. She is the embodiment of the essence of ex nihilo. Like a unit of measurement, she serves to quantify that which is not quantifiable, by demonstrating the value of the Superhero Ruler, so that you can know the unknowable and comprehend the incomprehensible. As to not overwhelm you, we will start with the mundane weight class, the lowest class of the Superhero Ruler. Before we get into anything, we need to establish the very cornerstone of the foundation of our ruler, and we do that with three principles of physics: force, work, and power. These very simple values will influence everything that is going to happen from here on out. Remember, the goal of the Superhero Ruler is to take the ambiguity out of semantics and manifest objective reasoning grounded in logic out of the subjective medium just for fun. Now, with that being said, we need to start with understanding force. The simplest definition of force is an influence which causes a target to undergo a change, whereas influence is the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. To be clear, a force is any interaction that, when unopposed, will change the motion of an object. With that being established, let's discuss work. The simplest definition of work is a force over a distance, with no regard to time. Work is an abstraction of the objective quantity of power. Power, in its simplest definition, is work over a duration. When abstracted, the quantity of power is treated as being reciprocal. What does any of this have to do with the mundane weight category? Well, in the context of the Superhero Ruler, it's how, but more accurately, where we establish our foundational value. We need to add more bricks to our cornerstone. Physical strength is the measure of an animal's exertion of force on physical objects. The strongest humans have empirically been recorded lifting 6,270 pounds. If we do the math, proportionate strength generally is proportionate to the cross-section or surface area of the muscle, and their volume tends to increase at a faster rate than their surface area. This ratio is why small-scale entities can carry more relative to their own body weight than large-scale entities. In a lot of instances, proportionate strength scaling is used to take as much of the ambiguity out of the understanding of strength of hero characters as imaginatively possible, which is why the superhero ruler chooses this unit of measurement for its foundation. To be as clear and concise as possible, we can assign a person's height as x, then we can assign them a weight as y. With these values, we can proportionally scale any character on a ruler without needing to establish if they are actually stronger or weaker than another character of the same weight class. The average height and weight of a human adult female aged 20 is a height of 5 foot 4 inches with a weight of 168.5 pounds. We assign the value of height x, 5 foot 4 inches, and weight y, 168.5 pounds. We then can now place a weight whose mass is equal to 1 times y. In doing this, the value of the mass is proportionate to the strength of the person lifting it. Starting at the mundane weight category, which is the lowest and first weight category for the superhero ruler, each category of weight being divided into 10 belt classes. Athwit, white belt, which is the lowest belt class, a mundane character is able to lift 10 times their own weight or less. At yellow belt, a character is able to lift 20 times their own weight or less. At orange belt, 30 times their own weight. Green belt, 40 times their own weight. And it scales in order by a magnitude of 10, blue belt, purple belt, red belt, brown belt, black belt, up to black white belt, which is the last belt within the weight class. A mundane character of black weight belt class is able to lift 100 times their own weight, but this describes a force. A mundane character is able to move a unit of mass proportionate to their own mass. This is only half of the equation. There is a second part of the scale which helps us really put the full range of a character's strength into perspective. And that part of the scale is distance. Remember, work is force over distance. To overcome the mass of an object requires a force in excess greater than that mass. That is to say that what a character is not shown able to do or is incapable of doing is the maximum strength of that character. Likewise, if a character is shown doing some feat, then that character is implied to be proficient in strength to perform said feat. At mundane white belt, a character is able to lift 10 times or less their own body weight at a distance of less than 1 foot. This can be through a direct physical contact or by indirect and non-physical contact. Yellow belt characters are able to lift 20 times or less their own body weight at a distance of less than 2 feet. This can be through a direct physical contact or by an indirect non-physical contact. At orange belt, characters are able to lift 30 times or less their own body weight at a distance of less than 3 feet. This can be through a direct physical contact or by an indirect non-physical contact. At green belt, the distance increased respectively to 4 feet. Then blue belt, the distance increased respectively to 5 feet. Then purple belt, red belt, brown belt, black belt, up to black white belt, where the distance increases up to 10 feet. The weight classes are divisions of competition used to match competitors against each other of the same size.